had to explain that to a friend of mine because she didn't understand why I was not scaling.
Right.
After a year of business, and after a year, and I had to explain to her, while you are getting your paycheck as the area manager, you have a staff in a different state doing the paperwork for you because you are the area manager of an established firm. But I don't.
Right.
So that staff is this.
Right. You're all roles.
I am it. Right. So all the payroll, the hiring, the firing, the testing, and all that stuff. And though I did start as a home-based business, but in order for me to hire, I had to move out.
Right.
And in order for me to move out, I had to spend money on that space.
It takes money to make money. You're
it
right.
Does.
It takes money. If you're afraid to spend money, you'll never grow.
No.
You're right. You're right.
So I was to a certain extent blessed enough to get my very first business loan with the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. Yes, the Chamber of Commerce. So I was able to move out of the space and grow. And we've expanded since, and I've had some very bad clients, and but eventually you learn to navigate through it, and this is where I tell you that the business aspect of my business, that's how I learned about it. Right. When you find 3 or 4 people who tell you, okay, well, these projects are going to go through, and especially if you're doing contracts with the government, and then all of a sudden now there's a funding issue, or all of a sudden this person who was administrating this contract is no longer there, or there have been some discrepancies and everything is at a standstill. And they forget that while the big firm can survive that ride, there is a smaller firm that's attached to that contract that might struggle to survive that ride.
Right. Or they'll tell you, okay, we got the contract, start tomorrow, but you don't have a work order, a notice to proceed, and then you start to bill, and you're like, okay, can you guys just send me the paperwork so I know in writing where I am?
I've made that
lessons learned, right? You don't start, and I've had scenarios where I'll go to the meetings, but I won't produce any documents until I have a contract. But I have to get to the point where I don't go to the meeting and say, I just don't even go to the meeting. But I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
I have learned to not even start if you don't give me a contract.
Yeah.
Up to now, I have one particular client. I mean, and it's not a lot. Who actually we had $500,000 contract with, and when we started with him, he said, well, you can start, you can do this, you can do that, and I guess to a certain extent, I trusted. That's another thing that
it's not like the process.
It's not like I didn't know, because so many times I am told, and I've been told, do not start anything unless you have a contract. Right. It's not like the lesson wasn't learned. I mean, the contract management for at the construction management class at FIU taught me that. AIA taught me that 500 times. The county told me
but I like them, and I just want to get started.
And they're so nice, but they're professional, and they promise you the moon.
Right.
And for that matter, they would sell you something you've already bought, and you would buy it.
Right.
And to help, because I figured, okay, you're professional enough, and I'm going to help you. Well, can you start? Because if we haven't started, we don't want to be late. We don't want this.
We're on a schedule.
We're on a schedule, and I would start. I would produce my first deliverable, produce the second one, then I bill. I still don't have a PO or anything like that. And then my first PO comes, and the bill comes, and then I send the bill, and all of a sudden we don't get paid. But they forget that while I started for you about 3 months ago, I had to pay my employee.
Right.
And I had to pay the rent.
Right.
And I had to pay everything else, and even the printing of the document that I gave you.
And then my time.
And my time.
Right.
And I have bills at home that depends on that paycheck that I'm supposed to receive.
Right.
They totally forget, because to them,
it's a drop in the bucket.
Yes. And it's not that. I had to think of it the other way also. They're receiving a paycheck. Right. What do they know about you not receiving
as a business owner?
Exactly.
Absolutely. You're right.
It's not their business.
Right.
They're
employees.
They're having a job.
Right.
They're working on their job.
And if they take the whole month off, they're still getting the check.
They're still getting
right.
The
so
check.
There's no impact to them if this project has not executed an agreement for you to get your contract.
No,
you're right.
So
it's
not. So again, who has to advocate for the small business? Who had to advocate for me? And the way I look at it is like, okay, I'm not just advocating for me, because I wouldn't allow somebody to starve my kids. Period. I wouldn't allow somebody to keep my kids. I wouldn't allow somebody to
come into your home and take over. And that's basically what a project can do.
Exactly. And by allowing you to not pay me, not only I devalue myself, I allow you to not feed my children, because my paycheck feed my kids. My paycheck keep a roof over our head. My paycheck send them to the different music school, private lessons, or whatever that they want to go to.
And your paycheck allows, not only the paycheck to the business, allows you to pursue those opportunities that are coming your way.
Exactly.
So that you can continue
so
to
I
grow.
can have a cushion
right.
at least.
Right.
But if I'm already operating at a loss, that money has to come from somewhere else.
Right. Understood. Oh my goodness. I love sitting with you. So the beauty of it is, if you're in business, you got to have people that you can bounce ideas off of, share insight. Because let me tell you, sometimes I talk to Miss Jackie, and I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy.
No, you're not.
And I'm not being aggressive. I'm being a business owner.
Yes.
By speaking up and advocating for myself.
Yes.
You must. And we can't say because we want to maintain the relationship, we're going to be gentle. And let me tell you, I'm nice, but when I'm coming for you, I come. And I try to stay in my professional tone, but you need to get that I'm serious.
Yes.
Especially when I'm constantly trying to make sure someone hears me as the business owner and protect the relationship. It's a very difficult thing, but I'm learning. But it's key. To me, the key part is having relationships with people who are doing the same thing.
Sometimes we think we're on an island until we realize that, you have that problem too.
You cannot operate in a vacuum. You cannot operate in a vacuum. I had to learn that the hard way. So we're going to close out. What's your website, Ms. Jackie?
It's www.génard.us.
And tell us your services again.
We do project management, owner's representation, and we just added post-disaster recovery. I have to say, this is the part where media and technology has not been my best friend. And because the website that I currently have actually talks about construction, project management, and planning, and urban planning, because that's what we started as. And I had someone that I worked with at the time who was, he's not a partner anymore, but he is a contractor, and that was his side of the business where we worked together on certain projects. And unfortunately, things didn't pan out the way we planned, and sometimes we have to evolve.
Right. Cut your losses and move on.
Exactly. So we've evolved. Have I updated the website to refer to that evolution? No, I have not. But
it's on your list of things to do.
It is. And it's one of those things that, yes, I know exactly what I want.
Right.
But I'm waiting for perfect.
Right.
And at some point I have to say, no, just get it done.
That's right. And that's where we get stuck as business owners. Paralysis of analysis, waiting for perfect. The color has to be the right shade, the right number, the right whatever, at the exact time. You just got to do it.
Just do
it. And allow it to evolve into the full vision of what you have for your business and for your life. Yes. So I just want to thank you. You are the inaugural interview for the Business Exchange by Creative Vision Media. Yay. And I can't wait to talk to you off camera again. I enjoy our coffees.
I do, me too.
I know. Even though we're always running to other places to pick up our children or take care of our children, which we know are the priority. And
yes.
I just am so thankful that you stopped by today.
I am thankful that I've been invited, and I'm always available for whatever. Our coffee, our talk, our sharing, our go-getting together. So I look forward to continuing doing that. So.
Wonderful. And I can say Creative Vision Media has checked the box today because we got started. Signing off.
Bye.